Season 5 begins with the gang trapped inside the Bank of Spain, and the stakes are higher than ever. The professor is no longer in control because Alicia Sierra has found him. With the mastermind captured, the entire plan begins to collapse, leaving the team vulnerable and exposed. Inside the bank, the group continues melting gold while dealing with emotional and physical exhaustion. Tokyo narrates the chaos, revealing how every member is pushed to their limits. Leadership tensions rise, especially between Palermo and the rest of the crew. Meanwhile, Alicia Sierra interrogates the professor. However, instead of immediately turning him in, she plays her own game. Her unpredictable personality adds tension, and she begins to realize that the professor might be her only way out of her own legal troubles. The government escalates the situation by sending in Colonel Tamayo's special forces, led by Sagasta. These soldiers are trained for extreme combat, marking a shift from psychological warfare to full-scale military assault inside the bank. As the soldiers enter, brutal fighting breaks out. The gang uses clever tactics and traps, but the intensity is far greater than anything they've faced before. The heist turns into a war zone, with explosions, gunfire, and constant danger. Tokyo becomes central to the action. Her past is explored more deeply, showing her emotional vulnerabilities and relationships, especially with Rio. Despite the chaos, she remains fearless and determined to protect her team. One of the most tragic moments occurs when Tokyo sacrifices herself. Surrounded by soldiers and with no escape, she detonates grenades, killing herself along with several enemies. Her death becomes a turning point, deeply affecting the group. After Tokyo's death, the gang is devastated but forced to continue. Rio is especially broken, struggling with guilt and grief. The emotional toll begins to crack the team's unity, but they push forward in her memory. Back outside, the professor manages to turn the situation around with Alicia Sierra. Instead of remaining enemies, they form a reluctant alliance. Sierra helps him escape, and together they work to regain control of the heist. The professor executes a bold plan to remove the gold from the bank without detection. He uses a stormwater system to transport the gold, turning it into small nuggets that can be moved secretly. This clever move is key to the heist's success. However, things take another twist when the gold is stolen by Raphael, Berlin's son. Raphael had previously rejected his father's criminal lifestyle, but now betrays the gang by taking the gold for himself, adding a new layer of conflict. The professor faces his greatest challenge yet, negotiating with the government while secretly trying to recover the stolen gold. He realizes that winning isn't just about escaping, it's about controlling the narrative and the economy. In a brilliant psychological move, the professor convinces the government that the gold has been replaced with brass but keeps the truth hidden. He essentially creates an illusion that stabilizes the financial system, forcing the authorities into a deal. The gang is eventually allowed to escape, but only under secret conditions. The government fakes their deaths to avoid public backlash. This gives the crew their freedom while maintaining the illusion of control for the authorities. The season ends with the gang alive and free, though forever changed by their experiences. The professor's plan succeeds not just as a robbery, but as a rebellion against the system. Tokyo's voice closes the story, reminding viewers that while they lost a part of themselves, they also achieved the impossible.